Near mint condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome.
Absolute format is the best way to own this store. Time to empty those wallets and fill those shelves. How's it going, all you minties? Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And join me today for your overview of the Absolute Luthor Joker 2024 edition from DC Comics. So let's go ahead and get started. And welcome back, everybody. Now what we're looking at here is the latest printing of the Absolute Luthor Joker. This is the 2024 printing. The original printing came out in 2013. And this is one of the most unique printings for an Absolute edition. Much like the Batman Year One, it is collected in two different hardcovers found in the slipcase. Now the slipcase does come shrink wrapped. And of course, with that shrink wrap, there's a little leaflet right here that tells you a little bit about the book and the ISBN, the retail price being $125. So here's the back of the slipcase, Luthor and Joker. And then, of course, what the books actually look like. As I mentioned, it's not the first time we've seen an Absolute slipcase contain two books. But this time around, let's actually get them out of the slipcase. One of the most interesting things about these is that they are flat spines. Batman Year One had the round spines. What we're going to be doing is taking a look inside of each of the books with the Luthor story first, and then we'll look at Joker, kind of giving you a pitch and checking out the artwork. And the total page count between both of these books is 384 pages. And the stories are all written by Brian Azzarello and Lee Bermejo doing the illustration. So let's check out Lex Luthor first. Okay, so we've already seen what the spine looks like. The back has a quote from inside of the book. When I see you, I see something no man can ever be. I see the end of our potential, the end of our achievements, the end of our dreams. You are my nightmare. Yes, it's Lex Luthor talking about Superman, of course. So we do have the end sheets right here, showcasing this image of Lex opening up his shirt. This was originally published as a 5-issue limited series. This was Lex Luthor Man of Steel, and originally published in 2005. Later on, we got collections like trade paperbacks, hardcover, the Lux edition. And the story is pretty simple. This is a story that is narrated from the perspective of Lex Luthor. Now, something I need to stress is that both this and Joker are taken out of continuity. As a matter of fact, you could say that these are probably DC's Black Label line now. And this one came first. With Joker's a little bit different. I think Joker, they wanted to tie it a little bit closer to like the movie experience. With Lex, I think it's both Brian Azzarello and Lee Bermejo just having fun with the character. Now, you do have additional inks here. I forgot to say that, by Mick Gray, Carl Story, and Jason Martin. The colors are done by Dave Stewart and Jose Villarrubia. The letterers are done by Phil Balsman and Pat Brazeau, just to name a few. So we start off with Lex talking to one of his maintenance man, and you can see that Lex Luthor is more empathetic. He's more of a man than a monster at the very beginning here. So a lot different than his DC main universe counterpart. He's a very smart man, and he's building a new science center, and he's promising the maintenance man, look, if your kid gets an A in science class, he's welcome to go and see the unveiling of this new science center. He gives him like a special invitation. We meet his secretary, Mona, and you kind of sense that both of them had something going on. But then again, this is Lex Luthor we're talking about. And what she's showing him is footage of Superman. And this is when the conversation gets interesting, because Lex is asking her, when you were a little girl, did you want to marry him? So it's been established that Superman has been around for a while here in this version of Metropolis. And she's like, of course, every little girl wanted to marry him. So as the story goes on, we get to see one of his henchmen Elias Orr. He's one of the operatives that's working with a group of mercenaries to go and free a scientist. He's a Russian scientist named Sasha Fedorov. And Sasha has been working with other people on this experiment. This experiment involves a young lady. Now he gets visits from Superman through here, and he needs something else, though, for this experiment that is called Hope. He needs something from Wayne Enterprises. Something that he has been requesting of Bruce Wayne as a cure for Alzheimer's. So he gets together with Bruce Wayne through here, and then we meet Hope, who she is, and how he's able to help her. After meeting with Bruce Wayne, Hope is revealed to Metropolis, to the world. And she's kind of your superhero through here. By the way, gorgeous artwork through here. I know some people don't like Lee Bermejo. Some people had issues with his colors or the inks in the Batman Damned. Some people didn't like that story, but I get it. But Hope is your new superhero to Metropolis. Now, remember when I said that Lex seems a lot more empathetic? He seems like a nicer guy, not the monster that we see in the DC universe, the main universe. When you read this, you'll see the change, and you'll see how big of a manipulator he is, how much of a monster Lex Luthor is, and why he's one of DC's greatest villains. Not just the villain for Superman, but one of DC Comics' greatest villains. And it's a slow build up to get there. Yeah, you do get a little cameo of Bruce Wayne as Batman here, but it's mainly him just as Bruce Wayne. In the back of this Absolute Edition, censoring that final page, of course, is where you're going to see the research and development, and pretty much the pitch for Lex Luthor Man of Steel here, and then the covers, because remember, this was a 5-issue limited series. Concept designs, and then, of course, the uncolored artwork here, which is just, I think it's absolutely gorgeous to look at. And then you have these promotional ads, and early cover designs for the expanded hardcover collection that came out, and then, of course, your bio. The book does have a ribbon, which I'm sure some of you saw. It's a purple colored ribbon to be used as a bookmark, and it does have sewn binding, printed in this thick glossy paper. Now let's look at Joker. So we saw the spines already, and there's a quote here: "He will stand over your body with your blood on his hands, and I promise you he will laugh. Not because your life means nothing to him, but because death for him is the punchline." And who is that narrator talking? Could it be Joker? Could it be Bruce Wayne? Well, we're going to find out here in a second. Here's your end sheets right there with that smile. The same smile here in the end sheets in the back. Absolute Joker. And Brian Azzarello Lee Bermejo. Now you have Mick Gray on inks, but also Lee Bermejo supplying most of his inks through here. Patricia Mulvihill on colors, and Robert Clark on lettering. This is a little bit different because this was printed in 2008, so it was after the movies had come out. And it feels like DC asked Brian Azzarello to write a character like Joker that's closer to his movie counterpart than, say, his comic counterpart. You can even tell by the scars on his face. This is all told through the perspective of this new character named Johnny Frost, who actually appeared in the movies. But Johnny Frost is getting to pick up the Joker, who's been released out of Arkham Asylum. Again, in this standalone universe, he looks different. He even acts a little bit different. A monster nonetheless. But Joker really takes a liking to this guy named Johnny Frost, and he just becomes his driver, so he gets to drive Joker around. And the whole story pretty much focuses on how, newly released from Arkham Asylum, Joker wants to go and immediately reclaim his role in Gotham City. He wants to make sure that everybody knows that he's in charge, that he's the man, that he's the one that should be at the very top. A couple of the things he does through here is punish some of the people that he feels like are responsible for letting a lot of his turf down. So eventually there is going to be a big turf war. Harley Quinn makes an appearance through here. I remember people having issues with this as a stripper, and man, it gets into some dark stuff through here. Both of these are rated mature. Not really for the language, but mainly due to the violence in the story. And at times, some of the sexual content. Not that it's gratuitous, but it is heavily implied, especially in this story right here. So, it is the story of how Johnny has to earn the trust of somebody that's psychotic like Joker, drive him around while the Joker is reclaiming his role in Gotham City. Eventually, like I mentioned, leading to a turf war against Harvey Dent, Two-Face, and it just gets crazier and crazier, especially when it's revealed a couple things about not just Two-Face, but also Johnny Frost, his driver. Is he going to turn on him? And I'm sure most people are probably wondering, this is Killer Croc, the way he looks, reimagined for the story. And you're going to see a lot of characters appear through here. Not as many in the Man of Steel miniseries, but a lot more of Gotham's Most Wanted appear through the story. Now, of course, the big question that I'm sure people are asking or going to ask is, does Batman appear through here? Yes, he does. He does appear through here. He's not a big part of the story, but he is a part of the story. This is mainly focusing on the deep character dive of Joker, what makes him tick, and who he is, and how you should never trust him, all told through the narration of this newer character that's driving him around, almost becoming his right-hand man, and that is Johnny Frost. Now, that's all I will say about that, and let's get to the extras. So, censoring that final page, and this is evaluations from Brian Azzarello Lee Bermejo. You have the pitch for Joker the Dark Knight, and a bunch of the pinups and art for the covers on hardcovers and collected editions. Original black and white artwork here before the colors hit it. And then, of course, the process to the final colors. There's even this right here. This was created in the summer of 2010. It's an homage to, of course, Calvin and Hobbes, and it's Joker by Azzarello Lee Bermejo, the same team that did the artwork in here. So, and then the bio and your end sheets. Now, this book also has a ribbon, this time around green, of course, to match that hair. Also printed in this thick, glossy paper, and sewn binding. And that, as they say, is that. If you're interested in purchasing this Absolute Edition, don't forget to check out our sponsors.
If you're in Europe and you're interested in buying these books, definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices, flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries, emails answered within 24 hours, waltzcomicshop.com, and you can use the code nearmintcondition at checkout and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order over €40. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding!
CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget that CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And that was the content, the page count, and build of this Absolute Edition. Let me know in the comments down below if you have picked this up, if you already own the original printing from 2013, if you have the deluxe editions of the stories, or if you've never read the stories and you're going into it completely blind. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Don't forget to check our Patreon and Spreadshop, amazing ways to support the channel. The description of the video will have those links. And that's it, everybody. Stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.